My mama's house. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, welcome to This Mama Chats. My name is Sarah. I have 2 kids and I own 2 childcare centres. And today I'm so excited because I have the lovely Karly Hayy here.
Hi.
We're going to be chatting about mum stuff, faith, parenting different children. Karly's obviously moved from interstate as well. And so that's like a big thing I want to talk about today as well, like how you spontaneously just decided to move up.
Definitely.
And, you know, the importance of a village when you're living away from your family. All right, so let's get into it. Yay. So thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having
it's
me.
Lovely to meet
I'm
you.
so excited.
So let's talk about you pre-kids, if that's okay. So I know that obviously it was like unplanned for
Yes,
you.
we had kids very young.
Yeah.
I found out that I was pregnant when I was 19.
Yeah,
So it was a big like, wow. So I think we spoke about this. Like I didn't really have a pre-idea of having kids because I was so young that it was just such a change,
so you
I
didn't
guess.
have like, because one of my things that I like to talk about is like when you think about like what a mum should be or when you were younger and you're like, when I'm a mum, I will, blah, blah, blah. Did you have like, if you think back, did you have a preconceived idea of what
my
you
mum
would
was
be
quite
like?
young as well. And I just remember thinking that my mum was always very cool and very dressed well. And I remember thinking, I'm just going to be like a cool dressed well.
Well, you definitely,
Mum.
you
Like,
definitely are. You totally are. You nailed
Because she
that.
also had kids at 20 and 23. She had me and my sister quite young. So I think because she was just younger, she just like had that like
cool mum
held.
vibe.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to be cool like her.
And like, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to
Not
be
really,
no, like
no.
ideas about
She was quite a chill mum
parenting
as
style.
well. So it was just very like, just be who you are, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think that has been a big thing in how we raise our kids too, is that it's just, I guess, confidence and just being who you are and really feeding into them. And that's what we were talking about as well, like raising kids differently.
Yes.
It's just feeding into who they are and not making them all
like
the same.
recognizing what their personalities are, what they're interested in. Yeah, that's what I love. I love seeing all the different personalities at kindy and like, you know, and fostering their individual passions and strengths and like helping them grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so can we just go back to when you found out you were pregnant?
Yes.
So
how old were you when you had kids?
30.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to be able to figure out our age gap now.
I didn't realize that you were like almost 10 years older than me.
Yes. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. So we had planned it and it was like, I think we spoke about this too, like the COVID. Like we were going to go traveling as well and then COVID happened and we were like, well, we might as well try.
Yeah.
And then fell pregnant.
Cool.
But anyway, I wanted to talk about you. Like when you found out you were pregnant.
Yes.
Were you, how did that, like take me back to that moment. Were you really shocked or it was like, oh, okay.
I had 2 days off work because I thought that I had food poisoning. And my mum said to me, you're pregnant. And I said, no, I am not. Why would I be pregnant? That's insane. James and I, we owned our house. His dad pretty much forced us to buy our house when we were 18.
Oh,
and I remember freaking out thinking like, I've only been with this guy for like 6 months. James and I were only together for. But Alan said, no, you have to buy an investment. And we were like, our savings is for traveling and everything. So forced to buy this house. We lived in it for a year. And then we moved out of this house because we were going to London to live there for a year. So we had our visas and everything. We moved into the back of Alan's house, James's dad, and just had all of our stuff stored there, like ready to go. We had tenants in the house that we owned. And I was like, I feel really sick. James used to do rail work because his family owns a civil company.
Okay.
So he would do like night shift for a week. So he was away.
Okay.
And I was just at home with my mum by myself. I was like, I'm going to stay at mum because I'm a bit
Had you
sick.
told him you were feeling sick?
No. Because he was away. Like he's doing night shift. Barely speak to him during the day when he's doing night shift. And my mum said to me, if you do a pregnancy test, you're meant to do it first thing in the morning, which I think that's more of like an old thing. But I remember thinking, okay, like that's fine.
Yeah.
So I got my test and I went home. James got home at 4 a.m., just finished night shift. And I woke up and I went, okay, like I've just woken up. It's my first wee. I'm going to go wee on this stick. I didn't tell him that I was going into the bathroom. He's like been on night shift for a week, buggered, like so exhausted. I go into the bathroom and I just go, my goodness. And I walked out and I was like crying. Like I'm like 19. I'm like, what am I going to do? And he's like in bed looking at me like this and he goes, we'll be fine. We own a house. It's fine. And just went back to sleep and was just fine.
Went back to sleep.
And was just like he is such like the coolest cucumber ever. I'm just like the one that's like, oh, what are we going to do?
Oh my God, I
and
can't
he's
believe
always
he went
like,
back to sleep.
It's fine. He's like, okay, like it'll be fine. And just went to sleep. And I was like, can someone be awake with me right now? Like I'm sitting here at 4 a.m. in the morning. I just found out that I'm pregnant. I'm 19. And he's just gone, yeah, it's fine. No worries.
Well, I mean, it was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
But yeah, that's kind of, I guess as well, I think I was stressed because it was the week that we were meant to be leaving, but we didn't end up leaving because COVID hit. But yeah, all of our visas and everything.
So had you still had all those things booked? Like
yes.
when you found out you were pregnant?
Yeah.
You still weren't sure if you were going?
We had it booked like 6 months prior. And then I think the COVID hit in the March and we're meant to leave in the June.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, we don't really know what's going on because it was so new.
Yeah.
Like, is this going to be over in 2 months? I don't know. Ended up lasting like 2 years or something ridiculous. But yeah, so we just stayed in the shack while I was pregnant, like the back little house is what we call the shack. It's called the Love Shack because a lot of kids have been conceived in that house. And then I think we moved back into our house the June the following year.
Okay.
So it was like I was pregnant, Ken was a little bit older, and then we moved back into our house.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's wild. I've never really told anyone that story.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, now it's going to be online.
It
so
will
there we go. Right. And then the other two, because you've got three under 5, we should say. Karly's got 3 beautiful daughters under 5.
Very busy. I think with Yogi, our middle, maybe like 14 months. And I knew that I wanted to have like a bit of a 2-year age gap. So I was like, yeah, like now's a good time to start trying. And then like bang, obviously we're young. So pregnant straight away. With Indy, we were getting married and weren't trying for another baby. We were happy with our 2 kids. 8 weeks to we're getting married. We're talking about this. I was like, oh, I feel really sick. I don't know why I feel sick. And then I was like, oh, why do I feel sick? I'm getting married in 8 weeks. I said to James, I'm just going to run to the chemist. I'll be right back. And he's like, where are you going? Why are you going to the chemist? And he's like, why are you going to the chemist? Yeah. Like I just, as soon as I went, wait, why am I sick? I was like, oh, it's like I'm being pregnant. So I ran to the chemist. I like remember driving back into the driveway and he was standing at the end of our driveway just rubbing his hands going, I know you so well. You don't need to take that test. He was like, you're pregnant. And I was like, no, I can't. I think I was like just like maybe like between the 2 to 4 week pregnant. Like it was early.
But that is the kind of sickness though that you do know. It is
especially when you've had it before. It's like, oh, why is it like that? And then we're getting married in 8 weeks time. And I was just like, oh, we're having another baby. I think that Yogi would have been 9 months when we fell pregnant. Yeah. So they're all like Ken and Yogi are just 2 years and then Indy and Yogi just 18 months. Yeah.
Beautiful. So like the beautiful age gap.
That is like Kennedy and Yogi are playing like so nicely together. Indy's still that little bit young where it's like she's touching our stuff and like, but they're getting to that age where I'm like, oh, it's so nice that they're like friends. Yeah. And they sing, I don't know if you know that Hangover song, but like when they're in the car and it's like the 3 best friends.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, I make them hold hands, they jump around, they go, we're the 3 best friends.
No, that's so cute.
It's so cute.
Yeah, it is like I see that with my 2 as well. They've got like 25 months apart.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful to watch them play together. And like the age gap is perfect because it's not too big. Yeah. Like it's, but then it's also not so close together. Yeah. So then talk to me about your pregnancies.
I had really good pregnancies.
All of 3, all good? Because I know
really
with
liked
girls,
being pregnant.
they say morning sickness.
Yeah, I did a little bit like in the start, like everyone kind of does. I think Kennedy was probably the worst one, but it's like very new as well. Yeah. So you don't know what to expect. Yeah. So I think that's, I wouldn't say the worst, but just like the most unexpected and like, oh, like this is sick and I'm uncomfortable and like, so you don't really expect it. I feel like with the other 2, you're raising a little toddler. So it's like, you have to get through it anyway, you know, like it's not, I don't know. I just know that I was obviously very tired towards the end because you don't sleep. And Kennedy's birth wasn't the best. But I found being so young in hospital it was, okay, you're doing this. And I felt like I didn't have a voice in hospital.
So I'm really sorry that happened, but that's actually one of the things I was going to ask because I have younger mums that I've spoken to. It does unfortunately really seem like a theme.
And I remember kind of feeling that way a little bit more with Yo, but then being like, this is my third. I remember with Indy going in and I was like, I'm about to have my baby. And we lived an hour from hospital where we used to live. And she said, no, you're not. You can go home. And I said, if I go home and I come back, that's 2 hours. I was like, she's my third. I'm going to have her. But she was looking at me like I was 23. So I had 3 kids before I was 23. It's insane. But I was 23 and she was just looking at me like I was young. And I was like, this is my third baby. I was like, I'll do a lap around the hospital and I'll come back. I was gone for 10 minutes. And I came back and I was like, she's coming out now. And she was like, oh my goodness, you're having your baby right now. I was like, I know.
I just said that, love.
But I think it's because I always put it down to that I was very young. Yeah. With Kennedy, they induced me because she was 2 weeks over as well. And at the time, again, it was COVID. So it was very puppy farm in the hospitals in COVID time. But yeah, they kind of, I feel like, let me go because I was that younger mum and like, yep. So they induced me when I was 2 weeks over and then it was like, you're going to have an emergency Caesar. And I was like, no, I've been in here for so long. Like I think I was in there for 36 hours before I even started pushing. And I had a really good midwife by that stage. And she went, no, we're just going to try and push. And thank God she was in there because if she wasn't there and just went, just give her a minute, like it would have just been so, it was very flustered.
And what's James like? How was James?
He's so
through the cool as a cucumber.
I remember the midwife going, I have never had a husband like this before. I think I like pushed out my placenta and he was like, wait, I want to have a look at it. And I remember him like pushing his way in to be like, what's going on? Like, this is so cool. Like he looked like he was just like in his element, like what's all this stuff? Like this is so cool. And I just did not expect it. Yeah, he was fascinated by it.
So had you had like the birth plan? Like
not really, no.
Like you seem like you're very like go with the flow.
We are very go with the flow. And I think that comes a lot with James as well. I feel like I was raised more because my mum was a single mum a lot during my life. My parents were on and off a lot. So it was a bit like, I guess, unsettled. But being with my mum, because she was a single mum, everything was quite still like we have to do this at this time or this at this time. So I was always raised like that. James's family is, just buy the house. If you break up, just sell it. Like, just like that's his dad's attitude and stuff. And it's always like, well, you've got to spend money to make money. And like, I was always savings this, like, so we were raised very differently. I have learnt being with James to be much more chill about stuff. And I think that comes back to faith and how we're talking about trusting God and knowing that it's going to be fine in the end. Like he's always going to have our back. Like it's not that big of a deal. James's family was raised in faith a lot. That's how.
Okay, and yours was too, right?
Not too much. I went to a Christian school when I was younger, but I think that Mum did that because she felt like Mum and Dad's relationship was so up and down that she was trying to give me extra values in school, I guess. But that's how I met James. We've known each other since we were 10 and he was my first boyfriend when I was 11. I moved high school. I wanted to go to a public school. So then I didn't speak to him for like 7 years. But we were like dating for like a year when we were 11 and he was just my best friend. We did everything.
You guys were absolutely meant to be.
So funny.
Wow, what an incredible story. First boyfriend, husband.
Yeah.
Wow. So going back to, because I did want to obviously talk about the faith thing. Because one of the things I'm really interested in and I love talking to families and parents about is like all the different ways we raise humans and they're all so beautiful and all so different.
Yeah, definitely.
So when you were, and I just want to go back a little bit to understanding your upbringing.
Yeah.
So did you, like you went to the Christian school and obviously your mum had some faith. Was it something you guys would talk about a lot when you were a kid?
I don't remember talking about it too much with my family, but I remember really enjoying being in the environment at school.
Yeah, okay.
Like I didn't go to church with my family ever, not something where we were brought up with, but they had like the chapel, which is kind of like a church praise thing every Wednesday at school. And I remember just really liking that. I also remember often as well, which is something, because our kids go to a public school up here, which we prefer the public system.
Okay.
James and I finally, we both went to the private. But during like Easter or Christmas, I really enjoyed that it was very much around like Christian faith and God and Jesus and this is what happened and this is why we have Easter and this is why we have Christmas. What I've noticed with this public school, it's the Easter Bunny and Santa instead. Yeah. So I will like print out colouring ins and stuff around that time and like explain things and I like that side of it for the kids. Yeah.
Okay. And then James, his family did talk about it?
Yes.
Like when they were growing up? Okay.
His mum was at the church like every Sunday. Yeah. And that was a big thing where Alan says, his dad, that a lot of things in the business is because of Lynn preyed on the business every day. Yeah. And their business was really successful. Yeah. And just like bits in their life, like they just really trusted and leaned into that instead of being like, I'm just going to do it on my own and just figure it out on my own, which is how I felt my family kind of was. They didn't have that trust, I guess, more in that it will work out kind of thing. But yeah, she was very, very in the church. They did a lot for the church and stuff as well.
And was that something that you spoke about, like going back to, you know, when you're pregnant, and I think maybe this is something more obviously the first time round.
Yeah.
Like, you know, as a couple, you'll start talking about and like, we're going to have this baby and these are things I want to do. Yeah. Were they conversations that you guys had?
Not too much. We weren't really involved in the church when we were pregnant. I think it was James's sister. She's 13 years older than me because James is one of 4. Okay. So Lynn and Alan had their 3. Okay. And then like a lot later they had James. Okay. So he's got a big gap. But I think as well because James's mum passed when we were 17. She had cancer. So I feel like Chelsea took on that role a lot to look after James and I. When we did buy a house and stuff, we were in a rental and she was like, come live with me for 8 weeks and like we were only 18. So she's looked after us a lot. But she invited us back into the church. Okay. And she was the one that kind of said, come back in.
And that was at what point when you had Kenny?
Kennedy would have been maybe 6 months or so. So she was like, we would go in the little creche area with her and I'd kind of just play. So I wasn't really in the preaching room too much because I'd have to be with Kennedy still. So I didn't feel like I was getting too much out of it there. When they kind of got a little bit older, you can kind of listen in a little bit more because they're a bit quieter. But the church that we're in the Bay, which I love, it's a very family church. They didn't have a creche so much where you can leave your kids with like people, volunteers and stuff there. I find since moving up here, our faith has grown so much more. I feel like we've found heaps into this church because they've got this creche where you can leave your kids. And because how we were saying, we've moved from all of our family. We don't have a village up here. That 1 hour where we can just drop our kids and I can just hold my husband's hand because I'm not holding a pram or a baby or something. Yeah. It's like we drop the kids and this is just, I'm just holding James's hand and we're just like walking into the room now and it's such a nice time for us just to be together and like listen to what they've got to say and everything.
How does the faith play into, like, do you have conversations with your girls? Yeah. Your parenting? Could you, like, have you got examples?
We will pray every night at dinner and it's just like, you know, like, thank you, God, for our daily bread and for today. And someone will lead the prayer that day. And it's not always me or James. Yeah. Sometimes our 3-year-old will.
Wow.
And it's so cute because she'll just say, dear Lord, thank you for today. And it's just the cutest thing. But sometimes when I'm putting them to bed, Ken will say, Mum, can I pray before we go to sleep? So we pray often and I read the Bible a lot with them. They know, like, they've got their little kids' Bible too. So they know like the general stories. It's why do we have this or how do we have this or why is this happening? It is always led back to faith, our conversations, I find. And especially James. He is the head of our family, but I feel like he talks about it a lot with the girls, which I really like because I just feel like as the dad, he does lead us a lot more. With your mum, it's like, oh, yeah, like mum's talking or whatever. Yeah. But he is very –
There is something – I see, like, I do see that, you know, before I had kids, I was like very, I don't buy into gender stereotypes at all. And then
it's so different when you have the kids, you get this whole different, like,
it actually still to this day shocks me how my daughter defaults to like girly feminine thing.
I know our girls are so, even when Kennedy was born, when she was a baby, we got like the skateboards and stuff because we're like, we're not going to go into that like thing. And they just do it themselves. It's all the ballerina skirts. It's all the Barbies. It's all the pink. And I'm like,
yeah, I mean, I had my son first and I had bought a couple of dolls for him, didn't touch them at all. And then my daughter, when my daughter was born, I didn't, like when they're a baby, you don't buy, I didn't buy new toys.
Especially the second and third. It's like,
you can just play with his stuff.
Yeah.
And then I turn around one day and she's playing with the dolls.
Yeah. My Indy, she's a little bit over 18 months now, but she is obsessed with her bubbas. Everything is bubba. And constantly carrying these little babies around. And I'm like, you're just so it's so fun.
I mean, I should say my son now, sometimes he's in that real role play stage. He'll pretend like I'm a baby or like I've got a baby. But it really surprised me how early on it was clear that he was just not interested and she was. And then going back to what you were saying about your husband, leading the family, I do find the kids will sometimes listen to him more than they will listen to me. I have to say, I don't know if that's just because they hear my voice more.
I think I was just about to say that. I think it's because we are probably around them more. So it's more just like, oh, mum's just talking about something. I don't know. But it's like, come on, jump in the bath. Why are we not getting in the bath? Come on, get in the bath. And James will walk in and go, come on, jump in the bath. And they just instant. And I'm like, what the heck? I've just asked them 4 times. But I don't know what it is.
We do see that at kindy sometimes too. The room teachers will be doing something and then when somebody else comes into the room, the director will come in to visit or somebody from another, or a float staff member, someone new comes in. It's and then they'll listen, because I think, it is they get used to the voice. But there is also something, I think it is true that when men say things as well, the sound of their voice is different. It does draw attention in a different way, if they're using a serious tone. Do you use Faith to also say there's things we don't do in our family? Or examples of you see things on TV and you say to them, we're not going to watch that? Or
not too much yet because I think they're still a bit young.
Yes.
So they're not exposed to too many things. But there is things if they're playing with kids that are a little bit naughty or something that I'll say we don't do that in our family. We make sure that everyone's included or we're kind to everyone. I think there was a situation in Ken's class recently where one of the little girls had started bullying another little girl. And I was told, obviously I didn't want to address the names or anything to her, but I said, do you ever notice anything in your room where anyone's being unkind or something? And she was like, sometimes. And I was like, is there do you ever get involved in that or do you include everyone? And I think that I told you as well, I went to a parent-teacher conference and something that really stood out to me, they were saying she was doing this and spelling and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yep, that's great. In the end of it, her teacher said one thing about Kennedy is she will include everyone all the time and she's always kind to everyone. She said the girls will stay with the girls and the boys usually stay with the boys, but Ken will make sure that everyone's included in a task. And I was like, that is what we raise our girls to do. Just make sure that everyone is heard and included in things.
And you tie that back to Faith.
I would tie that back into morals and faith and things like that. Yeah.
So definitely. Then if I said to you, because we're not a family that in honesty prioritizes faith. Yeah. We obviously talk about that. When we talk about values, I say I want my children to be happy, healthy and kind.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
I say to my children all the time, kindness is important. We have to be kind, talking about being kind to each other and to others. And so that's a value thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything for you that in terms of the faith, it's goes beyond the values that you're really strict on?
I don't think that we're too strict, I would say. I was saying before, we are quite cool and it still flows. And I think that we just know that if something happens, then we do still feel safe in our faith. We know that it's going to work out. James and I went to buy a house in January. So we put our house down in Nelson Bay on the market to be able to buy this house. And we had a condition on the house that we had to sell our other house first and blah, blah, blah. And there was a few things that came up. It was in Tullabudgera and it floods in that area. And we'd asked if it flooded and he said no. My solicitor said, the house flooded in 2020 and 2022. So just double check. And it was just a lot of back and forth. And we were getting so stressed because we were going, what if our house doesn't sell? And what if this and what if this and what if this? And our house didn't sell in time and we're in a conditional contract. So we said, okay, we're going to pull out. We were up till 3 a.m., like stressed. And I just said, James, you just need to pray. And I said, if this isn't for us, just take it away from us. And instantly we just felt really calm.
Yeah.
But we've realized now, because we brought another house, if that house didn't come up, we still would have had our property down there on the rental market. So the house in Talabudra is what motivated us to put our house on the market, to be able to get this next one. And so like things like that is like, oh, that's why that happened. And that's where my faith goes, oh, that's why that was set up. And that's why God kind of guided us to that point.
For me, I would say I'm like trusting the universe.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that kind of.
I just trust in God. And I think that I spoke to you as well about like praying in relationships. Like James and I pray together every day. And they did a study in the 90s and it was like, I think 50% of marriages end in divorce or something.
Oh yeah.
It's really
scary.
high. And they did a study on couples that pray together every single day. What do you think the percentage is that get divorced?
85?
1% gets divorced.
What?
1%.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I meant it the
other way.
Yeah, sorry, I meant it the other way. I meant it the other way, like 15%.
No, I know what you meant, yes.
Sorry, I meant
but
50%.
1% of couples that pray together every day get divorced and 50% get divorced that don't pray. But it's an insane statistic. I just got goosebumps even thinking about that.
Yeah, that is insane.
So I think that is like as well so much trust in, I guess as well, praying together every night. You know where your both direction is.
Yes.
We know what we're praying for.
Yes.
We know what we want
We're
our life
aligned.
to look. Yes.
It's like our grounding. It's like meditation.
Yes. Yeah.
I think they also say like they do recommend couples to meditate together, which I guess would be very similar. Like that grounding, taking that moment and like aligning yourself. Yeah, wow. That is wild.
Yeah.
1%.
Yeah. There was like thousands of couples that they did the study on in the 90s and it was 1% of couples that pray together daily get divorced. I mean, yeah. Dave, confusing?
Yeah, sorry. Blonde
I'm like,
moment.
wait, which way are we going?
Moment. Yeah, no, you're right. The 1% is right. Yeah, your 1% is right. I had a blonde moment. Yeah. So can we talk about now how you just like spontaneous, like it seems like.
That we moved.
Yeah. Like, you know, it is huge.
It's big,
It's huge. My husband and I, we lived in Melbourne before we had kids for like 6 years.
Yeah. Are you from here originally?
From here, yeah.
Okay.
We came back during COVID. So we did the flip.
Yeah.
We came back during COVID. And like, you know, obviously moving away from your hometown, you learn. Anybody that's done it knows what it is.
Yeah.
And if you haven't done it, then you don't really get it.
I know. And when we go back there, it's almost like we feel weird talking about how small the bay is because we're like, we don't want to sound like we're telling you that you haven't done anything, but like it's so weird going back to this small town and thinking like, how did I live here for like 20 something years? Like it's just like I could never go back there, but not because it's a bad place. It's just so small and it's too narrow minded, I guess, too, in a small town, which we were too when we lived there. We didn't realize what was on the outside.
Yeah. That's the thing though about moving. Yeah. The mind just goes, whoa. How did that, like you guys already had your kids and you had your house.
Yeah.
So like what did that look like when you were discussing, how do you go from living in a small town, if we can call it that?
Yes.
And then say.
Very small town.
Oh, we're going to move in 4 weeks.
Yes.
During COVID with our 3 young girls away from all of our family.
Well, I guess we've always kind of wanted to leave. Like I said, we were meant to move to London for a year. And then after Yogi, James was like, I kind of want to go somewhere else. Maybe we can have a look at Airlie Beach, which is also a very small town, but we just wanted to have a look at something else. James' sister came over crying, do not leave. Like, please. So that got pushed back as well. We're like, okay, we're not going to do that. And then James is a landscaper. There is no new movement in Port Stephens. It is built out to the max that it can be. The rest of it is wetlands. So we had like a mowing run there and he was pretty much just doing everything for us to pay our bills. And looking back, the amount of money that we were making there, I don't even know how we were paying bills, but we just thought like, this is great. Like we thought we were doing well for living there. And then so I think mainly it was work. It was like, okay, well, let's go see what other opportunities we can do with work.
So you guys are hustlers.
Yeah. Well, I work for James because I've had the kids. I was in real estate before, but we've always had a little side hustle as well.
That's still hustling though, babe.
Well, I love working for James and I've just finished all of my landscape design stuff now. So I can like draw up plans and stuff, which is really cool. We can really, really work in together now. But yeah, it was mainly work, I guess. And my dad lives up here. Okay. So he said, I'm going to be working in the Bay for 3 months. If you want my house for 3 months while I'm there, it's empty while you're looking for a rental. So it was like, okay, we got to go now while Dad's not there.
Wow.
And it was like, okay, guys, we're leaving in 4 weeks. And it was, I think we left it as well because I said, don't tell anybody because I'm not having a repeat of last time with everyone going, don't leave. Yeah. So we called the real estate. We put the house online for rental, sign went out the front of our house and we went, there's a sign out, sorry, we're leaving.
FYI, guys.
Yeah. So then we left
as per the
within
sign.
4 weeks. James did a trip up here in his van with all of our stuff, or majority of our stuff. We had a lot of our furniture in a shed back in the bay still because we didn't have room at Dad's as well because his stuff is there. We ended up living at Dad's for 4 months. He never left to go work in the bay.
So the whole idea of you having the house to yourself.
So I said to him, I was like, because he was like, take my room, like it's a 4-bedroom, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't want to sleep in your bed in case you come home for a weekend. Like I want your room. I said to him, what would have happened if we did take your room?
So hang on. So how many rooms are in this house? You've got 3 girls.
We've got the 3 girls. So Kennedy had her own room. Yogi and Indy shared, which it was just a cot and a single bed. So it's fine. And then James and I had my dad's other spare bed.
Okay. So it was 4-bedroom.
Yes. And then Dad was in his room. But it's 4-bedroom. I would say it's like 3 and a study. And even like 3 and 4 rooms are tiny. Like it's a quite small house. But he is at work most days. His partner lives in Surfers, so he is there a lot too. Okay. But we moved up in that cyclone. I don't know if you remember. Oh. So I think maybe that's why he didn't leave as well because we were kind of like locked in the house for a week. No power, just moved up here.
Right.
It was
so
like,
so I wanted to talk about like parenting during this period, right? So you just basically tell the girls we're moving.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to all your friends and they obviously were pretty close with your family.
Very close. We have lots of family there.
And then say goodbye to like nanny and whatever.
Well, my mum also, this was another reason that we spoke about. My mum is traveling Australia for like 3 to 5 years. They don't know when they're coming back. Okay. So I was kind of like, Mum's not here.
Yeah.
And that's like our main source for the kids, even though they're close with everyone. I've got my nan, my GG, all of our siblings, like James's nan, James's dad, everyone's there. But I was like, oh, like Mum's our biggest help. She's going. Like,
did they go to
staying?
kindy when you were there?
Kennedy did.
Yeah.
But the others, I think Yogi actually started 1 day. Yeah. Yogi was in 1 day and Kennedy would have been in 2 days. And my mum had Kennedy and Yogi on the Friday. Okay. So this is when I was working in real estate. So I would work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah. So Yogi was in on Monday. Kennedy was Monday, Wednesday. And then my mum would have Yogi Wednesday and then both of them on Friday. Yeah, okay. So again, I was like, oh, she's leaving. Yeah. What am I going to do with them on a Friday? Like I can put them in care, but I was it was handy to have that. So I think that was another thing. It was like, well, Mum's going as well. Like, you know, there's not much here for us anymore. So we're just going to make that move. My dad is here. He's not the most babysitting type grandparent, but we go to dinner at my dad's every second Thursday. So like we have that with him. But we don't really leave the kids or anything with him. He's very busy. Yes. He always has an event on a weekend and like stuff like that.
And 3 girls under 5.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's a lot for him.
Yeah,
I think.
For a granddad.
I think that's where we're like, we need to get out of here too. Because it was like, because Dad was still there, I felt like we were really getting in his face. Yeah. Like the kids were really taking over. I think I was in the shower one day and I hear Kennedy say, Yogi, we're not meant to do that. And I went, oh no, what's happened? I walked out. I don't know how they got it down. Blue food coloring. His house is completely renovated. It's beautiful. Blue food coloring through his brand new timber flooring, like all the cracks. I was like, oh, he still doesn't know. So what did you do? I got it out with like mold spray, like the bleach killed it. But like instantly I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, the panic.
So there was like bits like that where I was like, okay, I need to get out of Dad's house because we are like really taking over his space. He has been a single man for a long time as well. His relationship was only new as we moved up. So it was so much for him to just get this new relationship and get this family of 5, move in. And I think as well, even though him and James are very close, it's like another man in your house and like, so we got a rental.
And also like the dynamic then is so weighted towards you guys. Like there's 5 of you, there's 1 of him.
Exactly.
Like,
and that was like as well, like because even making dinners and stuff, like I'd cook dinner for him as well, the majority. But if he didn't want to eat what we were having, he'd have to wait for me to finish cooking and wait for me to clean up. And then it's like, sorry, Dad. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And the girls during this time, they just like,
they loved it. We live at Poppy's house. And we're like climbing over Pop. Pop's bugging. He's a builder, gets home from work. Like, just need to sit down. The girls like,
so
Pop's home.
They were fine with the change?
Yep.
Yeah. So you didn't feel like, did you prep them?
We kind of did. It was, again, like they're quite young, so it wasn't too bad. When we came up, we've also got 2 dogs and the cat, and James has his work van and his trailer. So he drove that up with the animals. I had the 3 kids in the car on my own, and we left at like 3 a.m. I remember like calling him. We were so close to the Welcome to Gold Coast sign. And I was like, I'm going to fall asleep. I was like, I'm so tired. I don't know what to do. I was crying. I was like, I've got the 3 kids in the car. Like, I'm buggered because I never drive that far. I'm such a passenger princess. I won't drive more than an hour. Like, seriously. If I'm going somewhere, it's like, James, you're driving. But I remember being like, I don't know what to do. And we got to the Welcome to Gold Coast sign, like when you're coming up the highway. And I followed James the whole way. And I just remember him putting his hand out the window and he was like, yes, like we made it. And then like we pulled in, my dad was coming out of his street as we're pulling in. And I was like, hi, Dad, like we're here. And I just like started crying. And then when I got there, like Dad was crying too because he's been up here by himself for 7 years. But he was like, just like so excited to have us there, which was nice.
And the kids, so they're just feeding off your energy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that we prepped it like, there's theme parks. There's like we built it up like, oh, there's so much fun stuff to do. We're going to make new friends. And like, I think the friends bit was hard for Kennedy because she's that little bit older. Yeah. She was like, oh, I don't want to leave. Her little best friends, she had 2 really close best friends. One of them has come up twice to visit her too. They like travel, like they've got like a camper van. So we catch up with them when they come up, which is really nice. But I think that she felt it more than the other 2. Indy was 3 months old.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't even know how we moved with a 3-month-old.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
Because you're still doing night feeds. You're still like,
It was
so
busy.
then can we talk about Kindy?
Yes.
So then obviously you've come up and you've got your dad, but you know.
Yeah. He's a man.
You know, he's a man. Yeah, he's granddad. You went looking for kindies.
That's actually another thing that got us up here. I just remembered. We booked into a kindy. They said we can hold this spot for 6 weeks. Yeah. And we went, we've got to get up there in 6 weeks. Yeah. Got up here, we didn't like the kindy. We did not like it.
Why? So we're not using kindy names, and Karly doesn't go to my kindy in Elanora.
No. It wasn't in Elanora. It was just too indoorsy for our kids.
Yeah, okay.
The old kindy that they were at, it was such a big yard and it was huge. Like, we are very outdoorsy people. We walked into this kindy and it was practically the size of this room and there was 20 kids screaming and I just went, oh, I am very overstimulated. I was like, how is there any kid functioning in this space? We are not an indoory kind of people. I get very overstimulated. If we even are at home, all the front doors open, the back doors open, I need fresh air in and out anyway. So I just went, oh, I don't think it's for us. And I'm so sorry that we made you fill out all those forms. But I don't like it. Yeah. And then I found their other space that they go to now. Huge outdoor space. And smaller inside. They're not inside hardly ever. Big outdoor cover. They sit outside to have their lunch. It's beautiful.
But it's not a bush kindy.
No, it's not a bush kindy.
It's a normal kindy.
Yes, it's a normal kindy.
But it's the indoor, they spend a lot of indoor-outdoor time.
Yes.
And then settling your girls in, all 3 at once?
No, Indy didn't start until the following year because she was 3 months. So I just worked with her for the 12 months. Her birthday's in October. So she was my eldest to start. They all started because the other ones are in the beginning of the year. So they all started when they were 12 months. Yeah. Indy, she would have been like 15 months because she started in the January. But I had her for the year, which was fine. It's like you think that you can do it, and then you get to that age where they're like, oh, they're like awake for a long time now and they're kind of just crawling around my feet and I don't know what to do. But that's okay. We dealt with it. It was fine. She worked out fine. But I remember when it was coming up to kindy going, okay, like it's going to be okay. I'm going to be able to like get work done and it'll be fine. But Yogi struggled the most because she was used to the people at the other kindy. Kennedy is the biggest social bug ever.
Typical older sister sounds.
And I just went, you're in like a new space, dude. Like, are you okay? I was like tearing up. I was like, okay, like, bye, Ken. Bye, Mum. Oh, okay, bye. Yogi took probably 8 months to settle. Wow. She took a long time, like crying every day. It was really hard to drop her every single day. Even though the educators there are really nice. And she would stop like that. I would stand at the door and I kind of like listen. I'm like, okay, she's okay. But even now, even though she doesn't cry anymore, she's okay. But even now when I drop her, I have to go to the other side of the fence and wave and do that and then get in the car and go. So she's more attached, I think.
Yeah, we do say, I say to families at my centre, like if you're having hard drop off, creating a routine, which is exactly what you've just described, like having that, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to wait for you through the gate. At our Eleanora Centre, I've got 2 centres, but at our Eleanora Centre, they have this really beautiful routine where they pass leaves through the fence. Like there's a big tree next to this fence, and so some of the kids pass leaves. But I feel for you because this is something that we hear sometimes in kindy, like that
it's
hard.
It's so hard at the drop off.
And like
I think it's worse for me.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to leave this poor little baby. And like what, I'm going to sit at a computer for a couple hours. Like I would rather be with you. But
so can we talk about the mum guilt and how that sits with you? Because I always say, like, you know, kindy should be mum guilt free because they're having so much fun. Like even if they have a hard drop off, it's just a drop off. It's the saying the goodbye. Like we don't keep kids at kindy that are upset.
And even when I pick her up, she's so happy. And they're like, she had the best day.
And you know like, they get a good day. Yeah. But still, how do you rationalize
so much mum guilt all the time. I will be like up at night like, did I do that right today? And like, did I give that one enough attention today? And that one was crying for a bit too long before I got to her. And Yogi at the moment, I think she struggles to stop. I don't know, maybe we say she could have a little bit of ADHD or something, but it's like it's so consistent that I don't even have time to answer her. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe if she's doing that because I'm so distracted with so many, because it'll be like, Mum, I need a drink of water. Mum, can I have a drink of water? Can I have a drink of water? Mum, and I'll say, Yogi, I haven't even had a chance to say yes. We're practicing learning. Only need to ask once, and if mummy doesn't hear you, touch my leg. That's what we're practicing with her at the moment. But it's so bang, bang, bang. So at night I'll be like, oh, like why is she, do I give her enough attention? Is that why she's doing that? Did I give the eldest attention? Because a lot of the time I'll say, Kennedy, can you grab me a nappy? And it's like I'm putting pressure on her to do that.
Does she?
She does it straight away. And so does Yogi. Yogi follows Kennedy and she'll bring me the wipes or something. So like we're a team, like we help each other out. But to me, I still get that. Like you just get mum guilt over anything.
Oh,
like. It's like, am I doing that right? Did they eat enough today? Did they do this? Oh, and it's like, even with bedtime, Indy's really good at bedtime. She literally goes into her cot with a bottle and a dummy and she'll put herself to sleep. But James and I will alternate the bigger girls. We have to lay with each of them. But Yogi will always want me and she'll kind of go, Mom, and cry. And then I'm like, oh, do I just lay with both of them? I don't know what to do. But then I'm like, if I lay with Yogi again, then Kennedy's missing out on me. So it's so always that torn because there's so many of them. Like, what can you do?
Even with 2 though, I get that. And, you know, even if you only have 1 child, like the mum guilt is a whole nother a whole nother thing.
I know. So funny.
Can we talk about how you were saying like you were kind of looking forward to kindy?
Yeah.
Right? Because like even though you only had 1 at home, it does get a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's people out there that are like against kindy and they want to keep their kids at home. And, you know, I totally understand that. The beautiful thing about being a parent, you can be whatever kind of parent you want. Yeah. You know, and if you want to be that parent, that's
because
fine.
I do want to stay at home with my kids. I often think that. And I think that I told you I asked Kennedy if she'd want me to homeschool her. And like I said, she's so, she was like, no. Yeah. She was like, I want to hang out with my friends though. And I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But not being with any family, the kindy is our village in some way. Like this is what we have up here.
Village. Kindy
we don't have our family up here. We don't have as well our sitters that we found, Miss Chloe. Our girls are obsessed with Miss Chloe. If we need to go and do something, we'll call her and she'll watch the kids. Like this is where we've been able to find people that we trust. Yeah. I don't know. I know that everyone's different, but me personally, if I could just call a random sitter, say, hey, can you come watch my kids? Like someone that I just found online, I don't know them. Yeah. I've like built this relationship through the kindy with all these women and I trust them. There's multiple women there that I would be able to call and say, hey, can you watch the girls this weekend? That I would feel comfortable to have.
And what about because one of the things I do really believe and one of the things I love about kindy is this village idea, right? Because it's like being a mum and being a parent is so hard. Yeah. And this is kind of what I was getting to, like, you know, keeping your kids at home if you want to do that, great. Yeah. Like you can be that parent. Yeah. Like I want you to be the parent you want to be. But also for a lot of mums, if we're honest, like having them at home all the time can get to us. And so having a village that you can take them to and also talk to about and bounce things off, right? So apart from the babysitting, are there other things that you look at kindy and you're like, it does give me someone I can ask about the ADD, or is someone I can ask about when they're doing this or they're doing that?
Yeah.
Do you have those conversations with
I guess so sometimes. I think I get to kindy and James doesn't understand how it takes me so long to get them. He's like, I just go in and out and I get them. And I get in there and I go, and it's just like another mum to talk to as well. Like they're all mums. It's just nice just to chat to them and just talk about like the girls' day and about my day and about what Yogi did last night and what Indy did and what blah, blah, blah. And I feel as well, because I work for myself, being at home, sometimes like I don't talk to anyone all day. Like I talk to my clients on the phone, but they're like 5-minute conversations and it is about work. I'm not going to go, hey, by the way, my kids did the funniest thing this morning, you know? So it's so nice to have that extra person to say, they were so funny this morning, they did this. And it's just like enjoying talking to them, those people. And that's, I guess, where it comes back into building the trust in that community. And that's how I've gotten to know them so well. And it's just so nice. And Kennedy's at school now. She was only there for 1 year, but they all know Kennedy so well. And it's so nice. Ken will come in and hug like 5 different people when we get in there, because it's our little space where we feel comfortable. I am going to be really sad when the girls leave there, because we really, really love that place. It's been a big blessing for us up here. Definitely.
That's a beautiful thing. Like that's the beautiful thing about kindy, and a lot of people feel like that. And it always... and that's how it should be.
Well, not even actually, sorry, what I was just about to say is not the teachers in general, but even the other mums there. Coming up to a new space, I don't know anyone up here. I have made so many friendships with mums from that kindy, especially Kennedy's year. The mums were so like we had like this little community. We organised like little play dates and stuff, like a little Facebook page. I haven't obviously found it with Indy's age yet because she's in the baby room, so we're not doing that yet. But the kids that have moved from the kindy to Kennedy school now, we still talk and we still catch up, and it's like, it's really nice. It was nice moving to a new space and finding that up here in the kindy.
And that's what it should be. Like it is a community service. And like for somebody that like I've taken over 2 centres, right? I dream one day building one, but I've taken over, and what people don't understand is you're inheriting a legacy. Like there's a community that has been there for a really long time. And you have to try and unpack what that means. And obviously all communities do things differently. And you hear and I hear these like, and I live this all the time, you know, like when people, then they move and they say, oh, we're so sad to leave. Like, you know.
Well, even if you are coming in later and that family's had the 3 kids in and it's the last one at the end, they've been there for so long moving through.
I at my Black Bart Centre, when I took over, I replaced the cots because I thought that they were a little bit old. And when we replaced them, we put them up on Facebook and said, like, does anybody want to take these for free? You know, we always try and donate, obviously. And we had actually some mums say, oh, I'm so sad that they're going.
Oh, no.
Like, because they were like, I've had 3 kids. I've had 3 kids go through this centre and they've all used these cots. And it's like this sentimental attachment.
All the girls have used the one cot in our house too. I'll be sad when
but like they had been there, like if they had been there
generations.
a while. But yeah, it is. It's beautiful. Like, and you do get that. You get these families that are like, I've been coming to this centre for like my multiple kids. And they make these relationships with the staff and with other friends. You know, and I say to people, it is the village. You know, it can be that because especially for people that don't have family or, you know, also in a modern world where some family relationships are a little bit strained. Like we have some parents that come in and they ask us things. They don't know who else to ask. You know, and it's like, we're not pediatricians, obviously.
But you feel comfortable.
But, you know, it's like just that person to ask, like, oh, is this normal? Like they're doing this, you know? Have you had any like moments you can talk about from kindy perspective that's like have surprised you? Because I think sometimes people, I think, don't anticipate that kindy is going to be the way it is. Like I had someone say to me once, oh, I thought that it would be like just one person, like came for a toddler. And they're like, oh, I thought it was like school. There's like one teacher with all the kids. And I was like, no.
My goodness.
I was like, it's like one
poor teacher.
Yeah. I was like, no, we don't have classes of like 30 toddlers.
I think the nappy change schedule actually shocks me in the baby room.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember asking one day, I said, because every time I walk in there's a bum getting changed.
Yeah.
And I was like, how many times a day do you change bums?
Yeah.
Like there is like 10 little babies in this room. There's 3 educators.
Yeah.
Like there's not too many in the baby room compared to the toddler. But I think that they were like, oh, like every like this hour. And
yes. Every
we
2
take
hours.
turns.
Usually.
Yeah, I think it was 2 hours.
Yeah.
So there's 3 educators. They all like take their turn and they all just swap all the babies' bums. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I change one baby's bum.
Yeah.
And it's like I change her maybe like 3 times during the day. Imagine just like flipping these
I know.
babies. I'm like, oh. So maybe that. But not
what
too
about
much.
the process of does your kindy have rules about like birthday cakes or like like as in you're not allowed to send birthday cakes, or what about the paperwork that you get? Like the learning stories. Does it surprise you how much paperwork there is?
Not too much. I think that it's good to have the paperwork. Every time they leave, we have to like sign that they're going on, like they do like excursions all the time. It's only to the playground down the road, but they all go in their little pram and we all have to fill out that kind of stuff.
And you never get nervous. I mean, I love excursions and at my centre we love to do excursions.
No, I trust them so much. I don't think that my kids are really runners. I feel like maybe if it would be different if I knew that my little kid was a runner, I probably would feel a bit different. But like how we were saying, when there's a different adult and they just kind of listen a little bit better. I think that that's another thing about kindy. It's like sometimes, and that was another thing that I thought about when I asked Kennedy if she wanted to be homeschooled too. I went into like this parent-teacher thing and her teacher, the way she was talking, I was like, you're so good at your job.
I've got my listening ears on for you.
I was like, I don't know if I could homeschool, like after like listening to like everything. And I was like, it sometimes is just that extra adult just to give that instruction and they all listen. I don't know if my girls would listen to me if I was homeschooling because they are with me all day. How we're talking about the dad comes in and it just gets done.
Yeah.
But I think that as well with kindy, if they're going on an excursion or something, it's another adult.
Yes.
It's like different. They're going to listen to that person. I always know that they listen to other adults.
Yeah, I mean, we see that with food. At my kindy, we provide food. Yeah. And people will be like, oh, my kids are so fussy. It's like, you'll be surprised what they eat
because the other kids are eating as well.
Because other kids are eating.
Yeah, it's even like Indy, she's 18 months and she's trying to cut her nap already, which I'm like, what are you doing, girl? But I know that she naps every time at kindy because the other kids are napping. But I will sit with her for 30 minutes sometimes, like when I've got her and I'm like, why don't you go to sleep, girlfriend? What are you doing? And she just won't at the moment at home. She's just going through a little phase. But I know I get there and she's got a little timesheet. I'm like, why are you napping here? But not
and
for
that's
me.
the thing about kindy is that they will do things at kindy that they won't do at home. Yeah. And like you can have all of these amazing activities planned. Like you might be a mum that like goes above and beyond. Yeah.
I find going out, we need to get out.
Yes.
I can't be at home all day.
Yeah.
It just gets too like we need to we will go to the playground or we'll go to the beach and collect shells or we'll go for a walk or like something. We need to be out, especially in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you want to get them have that energy out. And then so it's like the kindy days also, the thing I love about it as a mum, from a mum perspective, is the kindy days I pick them up and I'm like, they've had all their running. They've done all of that stuff.
They've
like
had so much mind
they've had so much education that if I need to put the TV on while I'm cooking dinner tonight, I have no mum guilt about that because they've been doing play all day. Okay, cool. Is there anything else you want to like add before we wrap up?
No.
Thank you so much for coming in, Karly. It's been so lovely talking to you.
I can't believe how quick it's
Yeah, it's gone so fast.
So funny.
But thank you for listening to this Mama Chats. I'm chatting with Karly Hayy, mum of 3, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.